As leaders in organisations, we're often willfully blind to what's going on because it's actually easier for us not to know. Only 15% of people say that they speak up about issues and things that they see going wrong in their organisations. 15% of people. That means you're potentially missing 85% of the stuff that's going wrong in your organisation. Culture comes from the top. Whether you like it or not, the leadership in a business drives the culture of a business. And that is whether you are intentional about it or whether you are unintentional about it. Just a small example, if you've got a leader of a business who won't follow processes and won't be held accountable to following processes, you're going to have an accountability problem across your business. Enter the thinking environment. I started working with the thinking environment about 12 years ago or so. I first read Time to Think. And what this gives us is a how. A way of creating psychological safety, a way of being with each other, a way of holding our meetings, a way to, I suppose, engage in vulnerability and ideas-based conflict without it feeling really difficult. The thinking environment is a set of principles and a set of practices. So the principles really are around these words. So these are ways of behaving with each other. But I think the best way to understand the thinking environment is to experience just a little bit of it. Do you think you're an introverted or an extroverted thinker? How many of you think you're introverted thinkers? I wonder how the introverted thinkers look in meetings. It might be that they're sitting and they're taking it all in, but they're not really contributing a huge amount. It's very rare that there isn't loads going on up here. It's much more about, do I have the energy to cut in here? Can I find the space to talk when other people are dominating the conversation? Across meetings generally, 30% of people do 90% of the talking. How long do you think on average it takes before a listening professional interrupts the person they're listening to? So this could be teachers, coaches, counsellors, doctors. 90 seconds, 30, 10, 11 seconds. How about with your team? Do you listen as well to them as you do to your clients? Do you really hear them when they're talking to you, when they're speaking, or are you just waiting your turn? Are you listening to ignite their thinking, or are you listening, waiting to reply? Do you interrupt them, finish their sentences for them? Do you jump into their pauses as soon as you see the opportunity? And do you even know if you do those things? Because they're all really damaging to psychological safety. They're all really damaging to people's ability to think well, to feel safe. And frankly, it shuts down, that kind of behaviour shuts down introverted thinkers. Often we prefer to reach a bad solution that results in action than to stick in the discomfort of deeply understanding the issues. What we do is we think in rounds. But we just ask the question, what do you think is the real issue here? And we take it in turns. And we go around the table answering this question, what do you think is the real issue here? We spent years of sticking plasters on issues and not finding those big dominoes to topple. And so now we go around the room, around our table, letting thoughts and ideas build and develop. I am doing more and more work with other financial planning businesses because the thinking environment has been completely transformational. It's become foundational to everything we do. Team engagement, as a result, is through the roof. And it can be a bit overwhelming to hear all the shit that's going on all the time. But at least we know about it. We're solving things once now and we're solving them well. So I'll bring you back to this question. If you knew that your team hold all the answers, what would you do differently?